Ukraine fired their spokeswoman. And now I thought this was just a new New York Times podcast, but she's an actual employee of the Ukrainian government. Junior Sergeant Sarah. That sounds like what cops call kids when they give them their little sticker badge to wear. If you're on Twitter, you've probably seen the Junior Sergeant, where she gives updates about the Ukrainian war. She went rogue and made threats against anyone who speaks against them, saying they are going to hunt down anyone who disagrees with Ukraine.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
This resulted in Sarah being fired by the Ukrainian government. As they said, her statements were not approved. Her weird dystopian updates will be missed by anyone with a flag in their bio, and it won't be long before she has her own podcast for NPR reading BetterHelp ads.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The Semi-Daily Night Show with Gary TV, your host, Gary.
Tonight's ceremonial first pitch. And please welcome the President of the United States.
just making sure you're paying attention.
Welcome to the Semi-Daily Night Show. Hasan Minhaj has been caught lying in his special, and the more you read about it, like The Daily Show since Jon Stewart left, it gets worse. The New Yorker published a story where they asked the comedian about the truth in his stand-up special's King's Jester, where he says the lies are just emotional truths, which is like cheating on your girlfriend, and when she catches you, you say you didn't really want to. But I am an established journalist. We lie. It's just what us journalists do, but not as much as Hasan Minhaj. In the special, he tells a story about where he opens an envelope and a white powder comes out and lands on his daughter's arm. He worries it's anthrax and takes her to the ER. The journalist writing the story did something they haven't done since 2008 and fact-checked him. The NYPD and hospitals all deny having any record of this. And when she asks Hasan, he says there was never a powder, but it is just an emotional truth of the story. In the special, he tells another story about a white girl who says she will go to the dance with them when they're kids. She later goes with someone else because he's Indian and she's racist, and not because he dresses like a Forever 21 catalog. The New Yorker talked to the same woman, and it turns out it's not true, considering that same woman is married to an Indian American man now, so the accusations of her being racist are as real as just about anything he says. Now, talking shit on comedians is friendly fire, and what I should attack is those jeans and how he wears sneakers. All jokes aside, or truth aside if you're Hasan, it's okay to inflate a story for comedic relief. Us comedians do a lot. But when you are leveraging actual emotion in political situations by fabricating the truth, you're a journalist. Hasan made this entire special about the racism he faced as an Indian American in Davis, California. It's f***ed up to lean into racial stereotypes to get a reaction. I've also faced adversity. It reminds me when the Indian kid in my 4th grade class beat me at the spelling bee. I got on him on a PIA and he got capitalized. I made that up. See, Hasan, it's not that hard. I got fire truck and I couldn't spell it. Dave Portnoy fought with a journalist. The Washington Post wrote a hit piece on the founder of Barstool Sports, saying influencers and activists were calling out pizzerias for attending his pizza festival. Influencers! Why do you think influencers have a moral high ground? They would send their 10-year-old niece to cover a shift at Shein if it meant they could promote a discount code. The founder of Barstool Sports threw a pizza festival, and after finding out the journalist was writing a hit piece and emailing sponsors about why they are sponsoring his pizza festival given his misogynistic history, Dave Portnoy called the journalist that was writing the story and asked her why she was lying. Her response was, "We lie to get a reply." Well, almost. She said,
you know, it's sort of a reporting tactic. When you want someone to respond, you kind of have to indicate that there might be something negative, and then you get them to engage. That's all I was trying to do. I really wanted them to engage with me.
That is a sad state of journalism.
The best part about this is she's a food reporter. There are levels to journalism. Let me show you with the diagram. There's me, GTV, aka Newsboy. The reason I am number one is because my name actually isn't Gary, and to be a great journalist, you have to lie. There's CoffeeZilla. He does seem like he orders soy milk with his latte, so he probably can't be trusted, but you can't expect a good journalist to not have a vitamin D deficiency. Then there are sports reporters. Majority of them couldn't even do the sport they report on at an amateur level. It's like listening to your drunk uncle tell you what the Patriots need to do to win the Super Bowl. They just annoy me. Then corporate journalists. Now, I need them in my life like a feminist needs the patriarchy. Without something to make fun of, I might actually get good at some of my hobbies or spend quality time with my girlfriend instead of editing every minute of the show when we watch TV. And below that is food reporters. They almost always look like the person who says black pepper has a kick to it. They can't be trusted. They couldn't make a grilled cheese without having to Google how to, and yet they think their opinion matters. Back to Emily Heil. With the last name like that, the Canadian Congress may give her an applause. I had to work that in. The NYPD cop has a robot. The Stop Resisting 3000, as I call it, was unveiled by vegan Mayor Eric Adams. This is the same type of robot that one in DC must have had information on the Clintons because it was found drowning in a fountain in 2017. Named Knightscope K5, that thing is going to do some racist shit with a name like that for sure. It will monitor the subway stations of New York, and I give it 3 days until it ends up like anyone that had info on the Clintons and pushed in front of a train. 60 Minutes, the show my attention span couldn't handle, released a story about how the government is funding Ukraine. The US government is buying Ukrainian seeds and grain while ignoring our farmers at home. God damn it, we're getting another Oliver Anthony song, aren't we? And even subsidizing small businesses in Ukraine. The US government is helping a seamstress find international customers. I swear, if I see parents buying their kids Ukrainian flag prom dresses, I'm gonna lose it. We even cover the team's salary that trains a rescue dog. A German Shepherd would have been more on brand, if you know what I'm saying. Or at least spend the money on training Biden's dog that keeps biting the Secret Service. Lindsey Graham was also on the ground checking on our investment.
You've previously said that it's the best money we've ever spent. That's still true?
Since we helped Churchill stand up to the Nazis, people ask me, is it worth it? Here's what we've gotten for our investment. We haven't lost one soldier.
And he's right, considering his donors are Lockheed Martin and the entire industrial military complex. It's like buying Bitcoin at $10K for the senator. For the military industrial complex, Ukraine is just like an Airbnb in Austin, Texas with a cow skull and a hipster blanket at the door. It makes a ton of money. And the last piece of news that doesn't seem real, Donald Trump is broke, according to a judge. She found that Mar-a-Lago was actually worth $18 million instead of
$7 billion.
Now this judge obviously isn't trying to buy a house in this market because $18 million gets you a small condo in San Francisco, and you still have to share the laundry room with 3 homeless guys. Trump has even had his business certificates canceled, and it seems the turntables have turned for Trump. The main point of this case says that Donald Trump exaggerated the value of his assets. I don't think I've ever heard Trump exaggerate in my life.
Nobody's stronger than me.
Nobody has better toys than I do.
There's nobody bigger or better at the military than I am.
Nobody loves the Bible more than I do.
Now, New York real estate developers lie almost as much as politicians, but not nearly as much as Hasans Lie.
Nobody's better to people with disabilities than me.